minutes. How to play. Build defenses. Prepare your heroes. Place them next to your walls. Fight enemies until they're dead. Play your hero in any order you want, and then it comes the enemy's turn. Any enemy inside your city will cause panic. Okay. Salvage ruins of the former city. Spend gold to construct new buildings. Assign your workers to building. Upgrade your heroes. Okay. City inventory is unavailable at night. Okay. Yeah. Pause. It's not real time, right? Okay. Waves incoming from the south. Hello, Helby. What is that emote or the symbol? GLFH pledge. What is that from? What does it mean? Click on it, does it do something? I see. The Twitch promotion for everybody, I see. Hey QB, yeah, a little impromptu tryout day. I was really hoping to get a couple more days of Empire of Sin. We're at this awkward moment where December 5th, right? So I have today and tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday in the office. I take Monday and Tuesday off, and I'm moving my setup back home to the fiber. And then it's going to be Cyberpunk on the 10th. And it would have been really, and I don't know if they're going to do early access for streamers. It doesn't look like it right now, but I don't know that one way or the other. Which means I've got this awkward kind of couple days where I would like to play something fun, but I don't want to get committed into something super deep. And I was expecting to get like a week out of playing Empire of Sin. It looked like it was going to be something pretty fun, and it was, just released, and I wasn't expecting it to be perfect, but it just was really bad. Yeah, I clicked the link, Helby, and read up on it. Thanks. So I'm a little bummed out about that. So we're checking out some games. These are games that made it to our list of games to pick up, but I wasn't really ready for a full tryout day. So I've got a couple today that I'm thinking of. We could revisit Runeterra, which I like, and have a bounty promotion for right now if we want to do that. We got a couple games on the list that I just haven't managed to fit into a tryout yet. This and it's another one. I've forgotten the name now. It's in the title. They look interesting. So anyways, let's check it out. See what we get from these. TFT. I don't think I'm playing TFT today, but I guess that's an option. Yep. Probably what it ends up being is like a 2/3 length day. Check out some new games and call it good today. We'll see. There was a Democracy 4 update. Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate's had a decent sized update. I'd love to check that out again, but I don't want to burn out on that. It looks like they've gone the right direction. Community feedback has pushed them away from a lot of the area of effect garbage they're putting into the game. Celasta has posted recently but not produced an update, but talked about a bunch of the things they're going to do in the next update. There's a lot of really cool things happening in games that I'm very interested in that are in early access and development that I kind of want to stay away from longer, but kind of would like to go check out again. So my short trial of Star Sector led to hundreds of hours of obsession. I'm really glad you enjoyed it, man. I love it when viewers find games through my channel. I think that's really cool. That's part of why I do variety streaming, is both my sanity and your sanity, right? Like, I like investing in a game when it's a good game and playing a million hours into it, but I also like having a diversity of games to play with. Right now, I'm kind of feeling I'm on the other extreme right now, right? We just finished Battle Brothers, so I played a billion hours of Battle Brothers for months, right? And now I'm kind of ready for something else. But right now, I wish I had another game to dig into at that level at the moment. So we'll see if we'll find something. Hopefully, Cyberpunk is going to be that. We'll see. All right, so I'm checking out the demo right now for the last spell. These graphics are generally really off-putting to me. I know it's a style of graphics, so I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I'm not saying these are bad graphics. I just generally personally find these type of graphics fairly off-putting. We'll see. Yeah, Stone Shard is one I have not managed. I haven't actually found the desire to play that yet, but maybe when it gets done, it will be worth trying out again. we're trying out for me. I've seen Dolphin play a little bit of that, I think. All right, what are we doing with this? So we have to, the wave's coming from here, but I don't know what a wave is yet. So I guess we're just gonna move some people over. So I just right click to deploy, left click. Left click to select, left click to deploy. Okay. Got 3 heroes. Do we know what they do? Take a look. Hello, Nerky. All right, we've got this thing. I literally no idea what they do. Okay. Pillar of Light. Single target, big nuke, range 3. Stunning entrance. 1+8 targets. You think they're gonna auto fire? I know which ones are range and which ones are melee. This guy looks melee-ish. How do I build? Yeah. Have I ever played a first-person game on stream? First-person game. I don't know. I think Profile is first person or third person. Like you're seeing out the eyes of that person. I think we played a little bit of Fallout on stream at some point. Outer Worlds was first person. Was it? I remember it being third person. I don't really remember. I played a lot of RPGs, some of which must have been first person on stream, but I don't remember. Yeah. I mean, we'll be fine one way or the other, right? I'll probably just move it to a third-person interface as soon as I possibly can. All right, let's see. So I don't know what these fucking guys do. Let's just see. I'm gonna assume they're assume line of sight isn't important. All right, waves income from the south. Sure. Where's building? City stash. Do I have a resource set up somewhere here? Action points, mana, move points. I should probably read what these abilities do, but there's 6 abilities. I don't even know what's happening yet. So maybe we just restart real quick after we figure out what happens. Character sheet. They level. All right, the guy has 3, 6, 9, 10, 19 secondary stats. And it tracks all of the lifetime stats. It's interesting. And perks on top of that. Man, looks like a little bit of depth here. Oh. Yeah. Alright, let's see what a wave looks like. Cancel the last movement, city stash, character sheet, end phase, deployment phase. I've got mana. Where's my like global resources though? So if I'm going to be building things from city stuff, how do I find that? Maybe after the first wave? Swap sets. This is an alpha demo. So I would like a tutorial, but I can't really complain. So. Right. And I'm feeling a little cheated right now because I'm watching Grubby in the mornings right now, and Grubby's watching like a really big Warcraft 3 tournament and commentating it. And I watch Crokies when I can, and Crokies has been commentating Magic tournaments, and I'm like, where's my tournament to commentate? I'm like, I just watch some easy content right now. You have returned. Hey Zardov. Thanks for the reset, man. Welcome back. Alright, let's end phase and see what the fuck happens. They're coming! What are they? Turkeys is amazing. I really like his stream. Although he doesn't like Destiny for some reason, which is totally irrational to me, but oh well. Alright, so we're no way near this shit. I could move up and do something, but I'm not going to. I want to just see what the combat looks like, then we'll redeploy and try again. Tryout days are easy content? They aren't, actually. I'm feeling the desire right now to dig into a game, and I don't have a game to dig into right now. So tryout days are a lot of content because we try a bunch of different things, but they tend to be not so great viewership for me. Sometimes they generate good games to come out of that, but a lot of times they just generate a lot of stuff where I'm like, another game to check off the list kind of deal. And they leave me a little apprehensive because I like having a bank of things to do on the tryout days, so I can like go find games when I want to. So like I feel just a little content short right now. All right, so we're no way near where we need to be at this shit. So I'm just gonna immediately restart this. How do I restart this? Oh, there's a how to play. Oh, this is just the stuff we already read though. I guess maybe we should do just some basic actions to see. So they come in a wave. They seem happy to break my walls. I think I can move over there. all left clicks for moving. What can I do when I get there? Why can I not use this thing? That seems like a good... What the fuck is that range, man? Crazy range. Brace, Pillar of Light. Can I Pillar of Light this dude? Seems there's a lot of them to be single targeting them. Do I have another action point? I've got mana, move points, action point. I get 6 action points. Okay. Pillar of Light looks like it's just my auto attack. I get 3 of them. Yeah, occasionally I see some game on stream. Returned. Look at this.
At Filthy Robot, did you get donuts?
So in the evenings when I'm at home, I'm on my wife's Twitch account, and it's always awkward asking people questions with her name, but it is nice when she resubs on my channel. Thanks, love. Did I get donuts? No donuts this morning. No donuts at all. I'm just in an empty office in the dark by myself with no donuts. Ever. You never thought anyone would see that. Well, that's no good. What would be the point of that? Alright, I'm gonna just immediately restart this. Where can you recommend games? Have I played FTL? I have played some FTL. I didn't particularly like FTL. Exactly what an undercover cop would do, not get donuts. I know, man, right? It feels bad. It feels bad. There's a donut shop like right by this location, and they make really good donuts. My wife is always threatening to get donuts and always demanding that I not do that without her. So I think she was just checking to make sure that I didn't fall into the temptation this morning. It was close. You want it to be a Saturday morning ritual? I'm not sure my life can afford weekly donuts, love. Not until I get my bike back anyways. I don't know, chat. Do you think my wife should get weekly donuts? Oh, if I ate donuts, it wouldn't be on stream, so you wouldn't know. I could just be lying. Alright, I need to put these units over here somewhere, huh? Can we deploy them? Yeah. Can I put them all the way over here? Yeah, I can put them wherever the hell I want. Alright. I want to put them over here. Do you think we get attacked on the deploy portion of this phase? I don't. You make Christmas cookies and you have so many? Yeah. No, we're not doing Christmas cookies. There's one streamer who I like to watch in the evenings who he'll reply to the comments I make, but he won't reply to the name at all because when I'm on my wife's account at home. It's amusing. Seeing the camera raised to show less and less bodies that eats donuts every week. Exactly, right? Eventually it would just be like a face cam, and then like you could like do like a time lapse and my face gets like wider and wider and chubbier, and then like I pan down, I no longer have a neck. You can see that. That could be like the Filthy's transformation. Alright. Are these the same people? I don't know. Alright, let's try this again. Now we're actually close enough to do something. What do you think of that idea, wife? Frig. Actually, I should be calling you Frig here. Kind of weird that you didn't make your name Frig, though. Anyways. You have my exact sweater? I doubt it. I've had this for many years. But I've worn this exact sweater a million times. Alright, end phase. Let's see what happens here. Yeah. You tried? I see. Alright. Undead hordes have shown up. Christmas is a time for giving up the fight against unhealthy eating. It really isn't. It's the time to be double down on that. So this is the warrior class. Because if you give up during Christmas, you're fucked for the rest of the year, right? You'll spend all of spring dealing with your decisions to give up in Christmas. I'd rather survive Christmas and not have such a negative spring. Resume the fight in January. You can't just take a month off. It doesn't work that way. And my bike has been stolen, and like the supply I didn't know this, chat, but I actually called actually dealt with this the other day too, right? I'm trying to get a new bike, right? But I can't get a new bike right now. I can't get one because essentially I'm 6'2". I want a larger framed bike. I want like I think it's 60. The dimensions never make any sense to me, and they measure them differently from company to company. But anyways, there's a brand that I'm interested in, and then there's a couple similar brands, and then there's a size of bike I want. And apparently, COVID has so screwed the bike supply chain that I've been waiting for this bike to arrive for 2 months. And they don't know when it's going to be. They thought it was going to be November, then they thought it was going to be December. I talked to them like 2 days ago or 3 days ago or something, and they said to me, we're real sorry about this. We're absolutely going to call you when it comes in. They keep delaying it on the supply side. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Thick bike. That's right. I didn't tell them yet that I'm going to be doing an aggressive Saturday donut eating campaign. But sounds like they're taking me for a ride. Ha ha. Get that early pun in. Get it in early before the mods wake up too, right? I don't think we're banning for bad puns yet, but I think we should consider it as a channel. Maybe vote on it. Yeah, exactly, right? All the home stuff has supplies. Crazy. Yeah. A short time out. No, it's a statement, man. It's a statement. I mostly time out people when they're being assholes, but I mean, maybe we just ban for bad puns. All right, what am I doing right now? Okay, I've got a melee attack. What does it do? It takes 1 blue resource. Blue resource is mana. Effect will attack tiles surrounding the skill's main targets. Chances to apply a stun. How was Empire of Sin? Yeah, it was quite bad, man. It's full release right now, and at best it should be like just released early access. It needs like it needs tuning on every single one of its systems, because the basic gameplay loop is so out of whack with anything fun that it's just you're just doing repetitive tasks that aren't interesting whatsoever for no reason with no decisions. It's really unpleasant. Good to be in the bike business right now? I'm not sure it is. They're not selling more bikes. Maybe good to be in the bike manufacturing business, maybe. Hello, Skex. Good morning. Hello, Azatol. Hey, Calric. Yeah, I mean, there's other things to do, but I particularly like biking, and I want my bike back. Ugh. Anyways, long story short, my wife is donut policing right now. So, quickly chat, lie to her. Tell her that we weren't eating donuts on stream a few minutes ago. Kickboxing with a partner is fun? Really? I don't know if I agree with that. Is my fiber thing going? 2 days. We're gonna stream today, stream tomorrow, and then move back. Star Renegades. I forgot about Star Renegades. Hey. Depending on where the bike parts are made, COVID won't be that much of a problem. I don't know what the deal is, why there's such a delay in their chain right now. It's probably increased supply with reduced production, if I had to guess. That powdered sugar in my beard. Shh. Orm is so much better when she's a little angry. Yeah, she really lands those fucking head kicks when she's pissed off. It's amazing. Donuts all you see is an empty box? Yeah, and when you pluralize it too, right? When you go to the donut shop, you're not going to go very often. You don't want to just get one little donut. That's not going to work. Looking for a game to play? Yeah, Care Bear. We could go. You want to go through today, Care Bear? We could watch all of the FAQ videos today that I can find, so I can be up to date on my current views, so I can respond to YouTube comments in time. Alternatively, we could make another state of the channel. We could talk about what's going on right now and make it for YouTube. I normally do those offline, but we could do it online today. We've had some fun in the past doing like Steam review days where we kind of go through a bunch of like upcoming things that we're excited about. I was kind of doing that this morning anyways. I don't know. I'm enjoying this music right now, and I'm also enjoying that I don't have to make any decisions or do anything right now. I can just sit and talk. We talked about our New Year's stream. I'm like, our New York stream? I'm like, what are we doing? What? Are we doing a New Year's stream this year? We ought to be doing a friggin' New Year's stream. I think we missed last year. I think you owe chat a New Year's stream. The other thing I want to do, Frig, is I want to do, I don't know what to call you. I call you like, I call you one of our, like, do I call you pet names? Do I call you I'm a good girl? Do I call you wife? Do I call you Frig? What do you want? Call you by your name here? Okay. I don't know if you, I didn't know if you wanted that shared. All right. So the other thing, Ellen, that we could do is we could, I'm planning on doing some, probably if Cyberpunk is good, and I can't even count on that anymore. Like, the game has so much hype, right? And we've had so many misses recently with games. But if Cyberpunk is good when I go home again, I would really like to do some extended streams. I'd like to do a couple, I would like to do like a drinking stream. I'd like to do an evening stream. I'd like to be back in my house, be able to do some streaming again, which would be fucking great. So I do have some thoughts on extended streams. But yes, we ought to do a New Year's stream. Do we have ideas? We could talk, we could brainstorm and chat a little bit about what we want to do for our New Year's stream. You guys have something that would be fun? Baba's U stream? That game was terrible. Well, it wasn't. It just really wasn't a game type that I enjoy at all. X. I did hear there was a 2-player Goose Game expansion. My house, I can stream all day. I can, but there's something different about like an evening stream when you're having some alcohol and you're kind of done the day and you're just kind of like, I'm looking for another game that just grabs me, and I'm really hoping Cyberpunk does that. Good morning, Nadiki. Watching you play CK3 was a blast. I didn't do any more work with that. I haven't seen a lot of people doing that. I don't know. Like, Paradox games have been so hit or miss for me. I liked EU4, but I didn't want to put a million hours into it, and it was a lot of work to learn it. And then I kind of liked Stellaris, but Stellaris is like so all over the place with its development. I don't know, man. Nothing would survive that amount of hype. You're probably right. But seriously, what do we want to do for New Year's? What would be fun for New Year's? I like the idea of the mixed drink repertoire that we've done in the past with your family, Ellen. I would love to do that for New Year's. And some element of me streaming and then you joining me for a little bit would be fun. There'll be many more drinking streams once I go home, right? Into the Breach is a good 100 hours game. It's not 100 hours, and we played Into the Breach on channel and gone all the way through. Chatterbait. I don't think I can stream Chatterbait. I actually don't really understand the desire of that either. Doesn't seem very desirable for me. Star Valor, don't know that one. I know Let Frig Play Democracy. Democracy is really fun. They just got an update too. It's on my playlist today. I don't know that Frig would enjoy it, but maybe. Are we gonna be at my parents for New Year's? Oh shit! I thought we were home by then. Ugh. What is Chatterbait? Don't. She's not a gamer, chat. She doesn't get exposed to the darker side of the internet. The layers would be worth coming back to after the next update. I don't know, man. I hear that like every 6 months or so. And worse, I'm starting to hear a pattern too from chat does this a lot now, and maybe this is why the fucking developers are doing this, right? Chat gives a lot of passes to games. Oh, it's just been released. Give it 6 months. It's only been out a year. Give it another 6 years. It's an early access. Let it finish. It's an alpha. It's in beta. Like, at what point do we hold a game company accountable for the game it's created? I have played Pandemic board game, Nusker Cuss. So I don't know. At what point, and better, and more importantly, as a streamer, at what point do you give up on a game? Are you just like, no, I'm not touching that fucking game again? The game has been through 25 fucking iterations and never gets better. Chatterbait is an old MMO. No, it's not. Democracy feels really depressing. Democracy is pretty fun for me anyways. It just doesn't seem like it has a lot of content to it. I like that they just did an update patch to make it a little bit better. And I recommend other board games like Pandemic. I had a lot of fun with Dominion. It's a non-collectible card game kind of game. So it's not like Magic or anything like that, but it's kind of like a board game done with cards. Don't let that be off-putting to you. Dominion was a lot of fun. What's Ellen, do you remember, what's the other one we have at home that's not too bad? Or one of the other ones we have at home that's not too bad? Stellaris is getting better. I also hate the ship design system in Stellaris. I just don't care. I never want to like design my stuff at all. Gloomhaven. Yep, Gloomhaven's not bad. Although I only played that on PC, but I have a friend who plays, Kevin plays a lot of that in person, loves it. Terraforming Mars is pretty good. Yeah, that wasn't the one I was thinking of, but Terraforming Mars is excellent. I was thinking of the other one, I can't remember, where you're like dungeon diving. If it's an early access, if it sucks, it's gonna suck. Not true. I think games have turned around. I try to give early access the fair thought of early access. We'll come back and check it out. I'm less excited about games when they're in release and they're still banned. Well, no, I didn't like Agricola that much. Mostly because I didn't like the setting. I think the game was a pretty good resource manipulation game, but I don't really want to be playing with cows. I'd rather be in space. Galaxy Trucker. Kevin loves that game too. I've yet to play that. Kevin's a huge board gamer, so like anytime I want board game advice, I go to Kevin. Twilight Imperium and Seafall. I've never heard of either of those. There's just another game down there. We don't have a lot of board. We don't invest in a lot of board games, but when we do, we tend to go gung ho with them. I can't remember what it's called. Ascension, maybe. I don't know if that's right. It sounds right. Might not be. You hate the early access model? Call it beta seems more honest. I don't really care what they call it. I just actually want to see games be good eventually. Thanks for the resub, Mark Poops. How's the fiber? Chunky. Been good so far, actually. I've been running 24 hours or 48 hours of stream testing now. I had one drop below 3K. So I stream at 6 KBS, right? And I had one drop below 3 KBS in 48 hours. And the rest of the time it's just sat there stably. It's really good. It just dropped twice. Don't tell me that. Tell me it's stable and without issues. For the King. Is that a board game? What's the... Is it really dropping right now? That makes me so sad. Fucking cable. Why would it be dropping out? Do I enjoy XCOM? I've had fun with XCOM. I'm kind of done with that game until something else changes. I'm ready for the next iteration of it. I liked Long War a lot more than I liked XCOM. XCOM runs into a lot of the issues with that genre. Things like power creep, not really making you utilize your resources properly. The Long War stuff made that really good. We'll keep monitoring it. Okay. You want to take over tech support for me? You could start calling the companies and dealing with the tech support because I'm pretty fed up with tech support this year. For the King is tabletop and PC. Okay. No, you don't want to do that. I spend like 50% of my fucking free time with tech support. Play a lot of board games. Cool. Yeah, I don't do a lot of board gaming, especially now that COVID has shut down all in-person gaming. My wife's not really a gamer. I can get her to do Terraforming Mars every once in a while, and she did play Dominion quite a bit when we were playing that. But she hates losing, and since she doesn't play a lot, she gets really, she's not used to losing a lot. She gets very, very angry at me when I beat her. So don't tell her. Maybe what I need to do is that I should just like tell her that every win that I get, she can have a donut. Spirit Island, never heard of it. You like the idea of Long War? I like the implementation of Long War, by and large. Maybe we could like combine kickboxing with gaming. Like we did like a day of Terraforming Mars after that big storm came through and we had no power. And then by the end of the day, she just wouldn't talk to me. And it wasn't even like I was winning that much. Just like anytime I played an attack card, she'd be like, "You're done. You're done being alive. You're done in this relationship. You're done. Period." Terraforming Mars, you know, on all the cards, you have a massive head start. I also find the game a little bit repetitive, and some cards are just way better than other cards. I think there's a lot. I like Terraforming Mars a lot, but I don't think it's a perfect game for sure. I don't want to kickbox after you lose. Stop lying. Look at that, chat. You see that? She tried to get an exclamation point after lying, but she was so angry as she typed that she got an @ symbol instead. Look at that. Look at that. It's raging. We got a rager in chat. Do we need to time her out? Ever played Terra Mystica? The problem is I rarely remember names of games I've played once, and every time I think of games, maybe, is that the one with, like, Kevin's got another good one that we played a couple times at his place. It might have been Terra Mystica. Is that the one? They all have, like, the board, all the scoring around the side of the board. I can't remember now. I think yes, but I'm not entirely certain. Can we ban? Mercy, let it go. She didn't mean it. Look at Kex. We got White Knights in channel. Kex is Kex. My mods, for some reason, Ellen, really like you. I don't understand why. Personally, makes no sense whatsoever to me, as someone who's married you. Why my mods would enjoy your company, but I don't. What I really don't get. I mean, I get that bit. What I don't really get is why they always take your side. What is this? What is this bullshit? Happens a lot. You getting white knighted? It does happen a lot. You getting white knighted. My mods know me too well. How does knowing me make them take her side? But anyways, yes, some board game stuff. We should figure out what we're doing for New Year's. I really, really, really want to do VR streaming at some point. I just don't know how I'm gonna set that up. I probably need a second camera anyways. I'm considering upgrading to the super fancy cameras. Did you say it? Say what? Probably say it. I don't know what you're talking about though. It would be fun to do a VR stream at my parents' place, but I don't know how we'd set that up. How much to donate for you to become a VTuber? I don't even know what a VTuber is. He and I are a bit of an opposite attract situation. I had some comments. I'm gonna keep them to myself for this. Got him, Kex. Got her! First the White Knight, and you hit her with that. A YouTuber that uses a virtual avatar? Oh shit, I've been reading about that a little bit. Or rather, I've been hearing about people talking about impact of kind of the software manipulation of images. I didn't realize that was a thing. That sounds fucking horrendous. Why would I want to digitally manipulate my image? Well, I have lots of understanding of why people would do it, but I don't wish to do it. So, no. Use it a lot in the VR Beat Saber game. I like Beat Saber just fine, but I would like to actually play some other VR games. The VR is starting to get interesting. The Quest 2, which is the... I hate that it's Facebook related, but or Facebook locked rather. But what I really, really, really like about the Quest 2 is it's finally a standalone. No wires, no batteries, no connections to PCs required. Yes, you can connect it to a PC, and you do require to do that for some games. But overall, it's like the first workable, usable standalone VR that I've dealt with, and I really like it. So I think VR gaming is going to be something I stream sooner or later. Question is when and how. They have co-op. They have co-op Beat Saber now, but. Yeah. Yeah. You'd love some co-op Beat Saber? Well, I say co-op, but it just means we're playing at the same time competitively. Are you sure you'd love that? There are co-op games in Beat Saber in VR. Dude, there's this one game I almost picked up just because of the novelty. Get this, chat. Think about this for next gen gaming. It's such a weird interaction. All right, so the player with it's some of the VR implementations of games that I've seen so far have been very basic, mostly because this is like kind of like I was hearing Grubby talking about like complaining about games when they first made into 3D and how a lot of the gameplay elements suffered because of that. And I think there's a little bit of a similar thing going on with VR, right? Which is as people port it into VR, one of the first things they're doing as developers is making sure that the VR portion of that comes out. And that's cool. It is really cool, the VR portion of it. The first time I put on the VR headset, I was like, wow, this is really, really, really cool. I really like it. What a different thing. This is going to change things. But the gameplay needs to be there too, and the gameplay there right now is kind of so-so. that I've encountered so far. But anyways, so there's this. Let me tell you this thing. So the gameplay, don't judge this on exactly what the gameplay is, but think about the implications of this gameplay, right? So I don't remember what this game is called, but in this, like, you play the person with the VR headset. It's an online multiplayer game. The person with the VR headset plays as a tree guarding acorns, like a ent, right? Like, you know, you're like swiping, and you're attacked by squirrels played by people on mobile. So people on their fucking phone are controlling a squirrel, trying to steal the nuts from your giant tree, and you are playing as a fucking giant tree with your VR headset swiping at them. So it's multiplayer, multi-system. Not everyone has to have VR. Think about that for how fucking awesome that is for the implementation of technology and then like multiplayer. That's so cool. That's so cool. Like, forget like the game itself. Like, you know, like guarding nuts as a fucking tree versus squirrels sounds whatever. And who knows what the gameplay is like. But think about that as like when that gets, when some like really good fucking development team, not to say they aren't, I have no idea how good that game is, I've never played it, but like some really good development team that really cares about deep gameplay gets a hold of that. You know, it's like there was another game a million years ago that I can't remember, maybe called Evolve, maybe not, where you had like it was like a base builder / first person shooter, and you had one commander who wasn't actually physically in a body, but was like controlling the environment, and you had like 4 Marines who were played by players. And that was cool because that never went anywhere. I don't think it did super well. I think it was around for a while, and I never saw something quite like that. But the idea of that was super cool, because the idea of that was essentially, rather than have everyone multiplayer doing the same thing, was to combine different levels and different roles of a pretty complex game. This is what we're always being promised by like Dust and stuff, and I never actually see come out of this, which is like, you know, you have like strategic level players and you have tactical level players doing things together for a whole world. And that sounds awesome. Natural selection. Yeah. Natural selection. That's right. That's what it was. But they did some sequel to that or something, right? So the idea of that sounds really, really cool to me. So this squirrel game sounds like that for me as well. Takeling's house party. All right, I need VR suggestions. So actually, this is Christmas season, and I'm gonna be traveling down to my parents' place for a little bit. I'm bringing my PC to stream from. I'm also bringing my VR headset to kind of share it with my brother, show my parents, show it to my brother, and I need to pick up some games right now. I have 2 games for VR right now. Only two. I have Beat Saber, and I have Until You Fall. And Beat Saber is great. I beat that. That was super fun. I like that. I'm probably going to buy VR boxing. There's a VR climbing thing I'm a little bit interested in, but I kind of wouldn't mind finding some VR games, both A, to play on my own, but B, because I want to stream this shit at some point. So if you guys have VR suggestions, we could go through some on stream and have a look at this. All right, love. Have a good day. Yeah, there's like 2 I'm buying. I think the 2 I'm buying right now, there's Super Hot. What's the other one? The other shooter, like Pistol Whip? I don't think I want Super Hot, but I think I'm going to buy Pistol Whip and VR Boxing are the next 2 I'm going to get for sure. But I'm kind of looking what else I want for that. So maybe we could talk about that too. Maybe you guys want to do a little VR searching? I want to do some VR searching. Because I don't know. It would be kind of fun. VR Skyrim. So, all right. This is the other question I have right now. So maybe some of you guys who are familiar with the VR stuff, we can talk about this. Arkham City VR. So the Quest 2 right now, which is the system I have, it's standalone for a lot of games, but some it isn't. And I heard VR Skyrim is actually very good, like fun as a game. Although I'm a little worried that it's A, not really fun as a game until I mod it, and B, I'm going to have to plug it in. And I don't know how bad it is to be plugged in yet. I haven't bought the PC conversion kit for the VR yet, although I am buying that, or rather my mother wanted to find me Christmas gifts, and I told her this was one of the ones I wanted, right? Which is the connection kit, because I have another PC. I have my old streaming PC sitting at home that's still relatively up to date, although not super up to date, that can probably run what that system needs. I don't know if it has I can't remember if it has a USB, what is it, C, USB 3, whatever the fucking, not 3. I think it's the version C's that plug into that. You want me to at Half-Life Alamrix as an option in Discord? I would love some VR options. I don't know where we want to put this together, but I would love to have this as a list. Maybe we do this here in channel. Maybe I just fire up problem is when I tab out of this game, it shuts the music off, and I'm enjoying the music as background. You have a Vive and an Oculus? I have an Oculus, but I never used it. I set it up one time and I was like, fuck this, it's too much setup and it's too much of a pain in the ass. Slashers. All right, we need to walk through this together, chat. All right, you guys want to help me pick some VR games? Yeah, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about exactly what you described, Kex. Well, I'm thinking of pulling up trailers. I'm also thinking of starting a list. I would like to have, because every time I actually started to do this the other day. I was on my wife's computer, of course, which makes everything miserable. But I pulled up a bunch of VR games. I was starting to read through reviews. Problem is, I have a very hard time finding decent reviews of VR games at all. Like, I can find plenty of reviews, but I don't have a very good sense of the VR game from the reviews from that. And I've been real hesitant. And I know I can return them. Like, the Oculus the store is pretty good about this. I think it's under 2 hours. I think it's like the Steam setup, right? I think it's under 2 hours of play. I can instantly return it. But it's a little bit of an investment for me to set it up. And the VR Skyrim is the first game I'm actually excited about. Like, because I think it's going to be a real game. Because Skyrim's a real game. I've never played Skyrim either. Where I could actually get involved in it, but also through VR. And that sounds amazing to me. Because so far, I haven't played a game yet on VR. I've played a number of VR things. I think like Beat Saber is basically exercise to music, which is cool, but you run out of music really fast, and the other music stuff is really expensive. There's like a billion things you can buy for that, but it's like, would you like to buy these 6 songs for $50? I'm like, not really. I liked the progression in Beat Saber too. Anyway, so I guess what I'm saying is VR suggestions would be really good. So, all right, how do we do this? We are going to come back to this, I think. And maybe I'll just leave it up in the background. And what do I need to do here? I need to pull up a web browser of some sort, don't I? All right. Good. I needed content for today. This is going to help. This is going to help. This would be super useful because I would love to stream some VR at some point. I would love to pick your guys' brains for good VR content, and I would love to talk through some of the things I'm interested in gaming with you guys. All of this is fun. So let's see if we can do that. All right, first things first. Also, chat, am I the only person who doesn't understand how all these streamers can stand to have like all their stuff shared on screen? They'll like drag in web browsers and like drag in like their desktops and stuff. Am I the only one who just doesn't think that I want to be sharing that? Is my mind just a little darker than some of these other streamers is what I'm getting at? Do I just have more to hide than they have to hide? Because I just feel like the stuff that I do with my personal time is not the stuff that Twitch wants me sharing with people, you know? I'm just saying. So I'm always like, you're just okay with that, huh? They don't put their porn links up? Yeah, I don't put my porn links up either. But, you know, maybe I'm just a little more worried about that. I don't know. The streamers make a lot of mistakes. They get a lot of views for making a lot of mistakes. Maybe I'm just bad at streaming, like as a business, perhaps. Anyways, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to. Like I don't want to show you guys that I've been playing Raid Shadow Legends offline, for example. So like I have a bunch of searches related to that. I don't want to show you that. Like, that's got to be clear. So what I need to clear out like history or something. Probably do. Yeah. Is there just like a wait? Like incognito doesn't give you like a clean, right? Like it still has like search results and shit in there. I just want to clear. And I don't want to have to sign in 25,000 times. I'm probably gonna lose chat here in a second. Clear data. What they said, a lot of them have a 2 PC stream setup, so the desktop and the stream and the PC doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't. When I lost my computer stuff, I didn't rebuild my desktop libraries, which sucks because I used to have very nice rotating desktop libraries, but I don't anymore. I just have boring desktops, but still, there's stuff on there. There's like business contract stuff on there, like sometimes where I'll leave a file there, or images of like, you know, like sending like like tech support stuff, or it's just stuff that I don't really think should be shared like that. So. Anyways. They're cookies, I don't think. So, I guess what I'm saying is figure out what we're doing here. Like, and like, my email isn't particularly secretive or anything like that, but it's more along the lines of the less personal information you put out there, generally the better, from both a security perspective as well as just a sanity perspective, to keep some work-life balance. Maybe I'm just overly done about that. All right, so what type of VR shit do we want? I need a Google Docs. What happens if I search Google? Yeah. Not even Docs. I want to Google Sheets. Play Shadow. I'm not going to do this now. I'm going to do this next time the promotion comes out for this. I'm seriously considering making a few guide videos for Raid Shadow Legends. The game actually is quite fun. Now, that's going to be an unpopular opinion. We're not going to go down that route today, but I've been enjoying that. I want to go to Google Sheets. Go to Google Sheets. Am I logged in still? Yeah, see, like I have to do the logins again because I just cleared everything, and now it's going to immediately prompt me for this shit. I don't want to do that on stream, so I guess I'm going to be doing that in the background real quick. Yeah. But anyways, I want to talk about VR stuff, so we're going to do that in a moment. Do I change this to a just chatting stream for now, or do I just keep with the? We are going to come back to this game, and I can leave it in the background. You know, like, and I use I don't know about you guys, but I use a password manager. So like, if I just were like streaming everything that showed up on screen, like I might at some point accidentally flash my fucking password manager on stream. And it's not like it saves, it doesn't like save plain text passwords, but nevertheless, like I don't want that shit up there. Like it just feels like insane to me, the people who put no protection on what they, between what they show on their PC versus what displays on stream. And maybe I'm just paranoid about that, but it just feels bad. Did I try Outward? I don't know. I have a big list. It's got the list is beneath the channel. You can type !! Filthy Games. I gotta get that rated. I was just talking to Tom about that this morning, about what that setup looks like. But... And again, like it isn't so much about like nothing I do with my time offline would I be like super devastated about, like if it came out. Like some of it would just be like porn stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, I don't want to have to demonstrate, like I don't want visual examples of what I find erotic, particularly shared with a large audience, but I'd survive it. I'm not ashamed of what I like or what I'm interested in. But some of it would just be like, I don't want to flash my fucking emails passwords to people, or you know, like a list of all the sites that I'm associated with. It's just do I watch porn at the office? No, I don't. No. That would be very bad. And just be like, hey. All right. Bike porn, exactly. You know, and I've been DDoSed, right? Like I had that Skype vulnerability issue on one of those streams when we were doing D&D, and I had some guy take me offline for like a couple days till I could get that sorted out. Like I don't know, maybe I'm overly paranoid. All right, so I guess am I signed into this shit? I am. And if I fire up over here, and we're logged in, okay. More impactful. All right. Man watching porn. Dude, I think porn's a great, well, maybe not great, but I think it's a good resource. All right, I'm so glad we're done with Skype. Secretly AR-50 and Genshin. What does that mean? What does Genshin and what does AR-50 mean? Isn't that an assault rifle? All right, what am I doing here? I'm trying to fire up something. We're gonna go back to this conversation. We're gonna go back to VR stuff. We're doing VR today. All right, let me grab this stream title, throw it somewhere so I can come back to it. Because we will probably burn out on this after a little bit of time talking through some stuff. And then once we have burnt out on that, we'll go back to checking out these games this morning. But I do think while I'm interested in having this conversation, having you guys here for this probably makes this conversation a little bit more fun and a little bit more interactive. And it might actually end up leading to some of the VR games on stream. So that'd be kind of cool. Okay, let me just set that up. Yeah. And I guess we're just chatting. I'm always very hesitant to use that. But I don't, sometimes I get, what is it? Is it literally just chatting? It is just chatting. Sometimes I get like chat policed by it. They're like, why are you chatting while playing a game? And in the game category. Like I watched it today, like I was watching Grubby this morning broadcast that tournament, right? And he, in between tournament rounds where he's watching a tournament and commentating on it. So there's setup time in between rounds. And he was playing another game in between the rounds. And this chat was like, a couple people in his chat were like, Grubby, you are in the Warcraft 3 category. How can you stream another game? Da, da, da. I'm just like, holy shit. Adventurer rank, I see. All right. So, long story short, let's go ahead and start talking about this shit. I think we're all right for this. All right, chat. I'm sure everything will be fine. No paranoia here. Sure. Capture. Target it. Looks like I have to target it. Good. All right. Turn this down a bit. And then I will put up a YouTube overlay over top of that in a minute when we start looking too. Any interest in playing Lek mod? Zero interest in playing Lek mod. All right. Okay. I played Lek mod. Lek mod was just coming into the scene when I was leaving Civilization 5. Lek is very prolific with it and makes a lot of changes, and I never liked large amounts of changes in the first mod, right? The issue was I wanted balance, not a shit ton more features. Okay. You're trying to resist them. I'm sorry, guys. This is probably not going to help. If anyone's sitting here going like, I don't want to spend more gaming money, this is probably not going to help. So, chat, let's do this. Let's fire this off. So, some of the things I'm looking at right now. So, how do we bracket? When do we put brackets on this conversation? So, let's start with the intro bracket of this conversation. Ready? That bike porn you see at the top? Yeah. Yep. It's just like, how would bike porn be? It'd be like undressed bikes, so like with the wheels off and the saddle off, and like just when it's like coming, like when they're putting the pieces together, like that would be bike porn, right? Or were you thinking something different? Anyways, dragons fucking cards. No comments like that. All right, so just do I want to put this somewhere? Like, I guess I'll just bracket it verbally. Maybe we get a command for this. One of the mods can maybe like try to roughly translate this. So the goal here is this. I'm doing some VR gaming at home. I'm just starting to get into it. I would like to eventually do some VR gaming for stream, and I might actually be able to make that work at my current location. My last location, I didn't have the room to do that, but this location I do. I have a basement with where I have a 12 by 12 mat down on it, and I can game there perfectly, and with the VR and etc. Right? So part of what we're trying to do here is talk to chat about interesting VR games. Some of this is just have a conversation about VR gaming, and some of this is kind of put that in perspective. And then if I do some VR, so I'm going down to my parents for Christmas in a couple weeks here, and I'm bringing the VR headset. So and I'm going to be streaming from down there. So there's some possibility of maybe streaming that as well. So, as a preface to this, are there games that are expensive? Yes. Okay. So I'm using a Quest 2. Oops. And I prefer the standalones, although I'm happy to have this conversation. So the Quest 2 is a standalone, but has an ability to be plugged into a PC. I haven't set that up yet. I have an existing PC. It's a little bit older. I don't know if it has the appropriate USB cable to do that. So I might have to invest in some more hardware with that. And I'd really like to not do that. But I think some of the better gaming experience is going to be forced to do that. So I guess it's, I don't know what that cable is called. I'll call it connection cable for now. Optional, right? Yeah. All right. So let's start talking. So I have owned, planned, considering. I own, what is it called? What the fuck is that game called? Beat Saber. I own Beat Saber, and I own Until They Fall. Until They Fall, and I guess, do we want like a verdict on them? Like, Beat Saber was fun, but got repetitive. I like all the stuff that's really fast on the Beat Saber, and all the stuff that's like delaying and like messing up slashes and all this shit I found really boring. Like, once you figured out what they're trying to do, you could do it, but it wasn't like fun or intuitive. And I found the music track super limited on Beat Saber. Like, there were some that I really liked, but it was pretty, there weren't a ton of them. Most of them were fine, but there just weren't very many overall. I know that so the ones I'm interested in, I guess I should also say not interested in. And I just basically read between Super Hot and Pistol Whip, and I think it was I think it came down this way. I think Pistol Whip was the one I was gonna get. I might just be mixing these up. It might be the exact opposite. They've seemed very similar to me, and one I'm gonna get, and one I wasn't. And then I'm gonna get VR boxing, I think. Okay. All right. So let's talk the rest of this stuff. So what next? Isn't standalone VR Android game? Don't know. VR Civ. I want to try Skyrim, but I'm scared of the setup. All right, let's pull this out a little bit. Need to be bigger. Probably needs to be bigger, huh? Just zoom it. A little bit more reasonable to read, guys. Zoom in for now. It's a little bit not quite good enough. All right, Subnautica. Is Subnautica in VR? So this has got to be Quest 2 compatible, and I guess we can start checking these out. So what I want to do here first, I want to generate a list, and then we're gonna go watch some. We'll go try to find some reviews, maybe watch some gameplay footage of it, and take a look and see. I don't even know these. So like Half-Life Elric, isn't that whatever the Steam one is exclusive? Could I outsource Skyrim mod setup to someone? Maybe someone in chat could help me work through that if I find people who've done it and have been interested in it. Because like Skyrim is such a beast, and I've never bit that game off ever. I've never played Skyrim even once. Never logged in, never bought the game. And then part of why I've stayed away from it is because it's so extensively modded, right? So like, and the problem with mods is they're all preferences. And if you have no understanding of the base game, it's really hard to figure out what mods are better quality of life things and what mods are absolutely essential game changes and what mods are just like people being like, I'm really bad at fighting fights, so I make a mod that makes everything easy. Or I'm a person who likes to have 12,000 options that don't matter. So I've designed a mod, I've installed a mod that gives me 12,000 options which don't fucking matter. Anything that works on Quest should work on the Rift because it's the same brand. And the Quest 2 is backwards compatible and the next gen. Isles mod for women in VR. That does not sound like something I need. I haven't tried VR porn yet. I did watch when I first bought the VR headset, one of the suggested videos was a wingsuit video. So it was filmed full 3D filming. So the 360 filming of a wingsuit, a flight, which was pretty interesting. Now, the problem I actually found with that is the same problem I have with the, yeah, right? Kind of cool, right? So you could, for example, look up and see the sky or the cameraman behind you kind of deal. You could look down. It was fairly cool. The downside of it was you don't feel movement. And the same with, it's one of the issues I have with Until They Fall, which is there's no kinetic feedback to doing things. So if I swing a big sword, there's no weight to it. So some of your movement feels weird. And that was just the wingsuit one was just a video. So I found it a little bit interesting for a while, kind of cool. Like when you're standing on the helicopter, waiting to jump out, or I can't remember if it's a helicopter or plane now. That was fairly fucking cool as you're like looking down. Like I enjoyed that. Yeah, so there's a climbing game that I'm considering picking up. The thing is, I like climbing and I like the physicality of climbing, and I'm a bit worried that the game won't be a good enough port for that, and I'm gonna miss the physical and it's not gonna feel real. There's some horror VR games that sound kind of interesting too. I mean, it feels like a medium in which horror is gonna be particularly effective. The sound, the isolation, like the movement. I don't know, so we'll see. Do I need an introduction to VR games to show family, like Into the Blue? Maybe. I'm certainly open to that. Like, I wouldn't mind something for the family. I almost bought my brother a VR headset because I've had fun with it. I just wanted him to experience it a bit before. Like the problem is I bought it, had a lot of fun with it for a little bit, and then I haven't touched it in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something, maybe longer, because I haven't had games that grabbed me. And Beat Saber was fun, but I ran out of things to do in Beat Saber, and I'm kind of like, well, I want more music if I'm going to do more of this. So all right, let's get some good suggestions down on the page here. So I know probably a couple of you already typed stuff. So I've seen the Star Wars Squadrons. I've heard that's good. That sounds good. So the types of games that I expect are going to be really, really cool in VR are the games which that the PC doesn't do super well. For example, a flight simulator of some sort, like a spaceship simulator, sounds amazing. Like lightsaber stuff is probably pretty good. I'm interested in, I don't know. So the things that are going to take advantage of the VR system seem really good to me, but I don't know what those were. I was looking at, I wanted to try that tree one. I don't know what it's called, Acorn? That sounded really cool to me, and not so cool because of the gameplay. It's really cool because the idea of interfacing one-person VR multiplayer with other people on mobile. So it sounds really fucking cool. No Man's Sky VR and Fallout 4. All right. I don't know a lot about No Man's Sky. Isn't it No Man's Sky? Is it No Man's Sky? I don't know. Okay, I'll just take your word for it as it is. And then what was the other one? VR Elite Dangerous. So... all right, chat, if when you're making suggestions, can you tell me if it's going to require a cord? Because that one does require the cable. I don't know about this one at all. Watching Filthy and Frig play. And wouldn't it be fun to have like a camera like both have the in headset as well as the out of headset? Now, I gotta get, I don't have a capture card, and I need a second camera, realistically. Because I don't think these little webcams are going to be good enough for it. What I probably need is I've been meaning to upgrade anyways and haven't. They're quite expensive, and I don't know a lot about the tech for them, which is the really clean, I can't remember what it's called. It's a 4-letter abbreviation beginning with a D, but I can't remember what the fuck it is for the cameras. And I've been meaning to upgrade into one of those, and I've been considering it. The problem is, and one of the benefits of it is it's a real camera, essentially, and it's just running through a capture card. And what this means is you have a lot more flexibility in what you can do with it. So if I ever wish to do some like actual real life, like streaming, like if I want to bring you guys on a climbing trip or something, like when I go like to a gym or something like that for climbing, I can do that with that kind of setup, which I can't with the webcam. DSLR, something like that, yeah. So, but I'm scared of the technology for the DSLR setup, and I'm a little scared of the technology setup for the streaming stuff. The location I'm at now, where I'm my home, not my office, but my home, I can actually set up. I have the space for the VR. I don't know if I have the but I would need the impetus to do it. In other words, I need some games that I really want to share with you guys and some interest in it, and I probably need to invest in that hardware. And the hardware is expensive, and I'm scared of that fucking tech for that. I hate tech that I don't know, because it locks me in one of these analysis paralysis like loops, right? Where I'm like, there's so many things that I don't understand about this, and so many things that I don't know what's going on with this. It makes it very hard to navigate it. It's like audio equipment for me. Like just audio equipment is a fucking nightmare for me, because I like all I want is to work well and not to have a lot of setup. I don't know Boneworks, so let me take a look quick through this. Acorn. I did hear Acorn was a bit of a party game. Again, like I'm not super excited about the gameplay elements of Acorn. I'm excited about the implications of that type of networking. Is No Man's Sky? Okay. Opinions on horror games. I don't really like jump scares, and I assume that there's going to be a fuck ton of jump scares in horror games, but I do think it will be a good medium for that. I watched a Hafu video a million years ago where she was doing VR horror, and it looked really unpleasant for her, but it was a really good viewing experience.
And congratulations to the internet, finally.
Thanks, Sunbeam. It was going well. My wife told me there were some issues with it this morning. I'm not home yet, so I won't know for a couple of days yet. Yeah, VR horror is going to be littered with shitty jump scare games, just like fucking horror. But I don't know that I like horror. Like, you think about horror. What is horror? There's got like, of the genres of horror, we've got things like jump scares, which I fucking hate. We have things like body horror, which is like sawing through Achilles tendons and shit. I'm not into that either. So it's like, what about horror do I like? I like psychological horror to some degree. The implications of something are interesting to me, but that's much less visceral and much more, I don't even know, like intellectual, I guess. And not in the sense of like it's smarter, but in the sense of it's more in your mind. The implications of things are more interesting to me, and that's almost not horror. That's like sci-fi, right? Like I love dystopian futures. I love, it doesn't have to be dystopian, but I like that projection of an idea into the reality of that idea. To go, well, if these things happened, boom, this is what it looks like later. Like, good fiction always grabs me for that. Thank you, Booster Damas, for the resub as well. Subnautica. So, I mean, okay, so we're going to generate a list, and then I'm going to go do some searching online. So I guess we could, we'll search for some reviews together for that. And Darkwood. What's Darkwood? Fallout 4? All right. Minecraft. Dude, I cannot make my... I like Destiny streams because I like listening to Destiny debate and I like listening to him think and talk. What I don't like is fucking Minecraft. I can't even watch his channel right now because he's in a Minecraft hype and I just can't do it. Can't watch that.
Space Bounty Hunter.
Thanks, Captain Waffer. Yeah, Space Bounty Hunter sounds fun. I think there's some other ones for that. I think Elite Dangerous is on there. So do we need lists here? Do we want to pull up? I mean, I can start like Google searching for VR. Like I've been doing this, right? Like best of VR. Like if I pull that up. But I go through these lists and it's like the same fucking 6 games like listed a million times. You know, like you know, Beat Saber always up there. I don't know what Budget Cuts is. Sounds fucking terrible. Danger Goat. Okay. This is somebody's top list. Is this like, was this like a April 1st release by chance? No. Darkwood is fantastic horror. So I don't know. Again, I can return these, I think, but it's not that. It's more like I would like to grab something. I'd like to find something that grabs me. PlayStation VR. Do I need to limit this to Oculus? We could go through their whole game store. It's not a lot. This one has been recommended a couple times, right? That's on the Quest. What is the fucking release date on this article? I may have jumped in too soon. Updated August 5th, 2020, because it's not even listing Quest 2. We could drop this down for last month, 2 months. Like last 3 months. From to all right. So I don't love shooters, although I can deal with shooters. Like I don't hate them, but I don't get super dragged into them. Although I wonder if first-person things are going to be more enjoyable in VR than they would be on PC, for example. Because it just might be nicer to be physically controlling things. I like movement in my VR if I can. I love the idea. I like breaking a sweat and or breathing heavily when I'm playing these things. So I like doing things. Does Eve have a VR option? I don't know that VR spreadsheets is really what I need at a Diki. That's an interesting question. So what is this? So we're looking at Half-Life. So what I'll do is I'm going to try to generate a list together, and then we'll go through and actually kind of break down the list and see if we have anything for that. So what else am I looking for? Fallout 4. Hot dog, horseshoes, and hand grenades. I saw the Star Trek bridge crew. It didn't look good to me, but it might be. There's Eve Valkyrie, but aren't there also okay, again, like I've been having trouble finding stuff for this. Democracy 4 in VR, right? Like you don't, it would be nothing, they wouldn't do anything that takes a minute. Anyway, so let's go through a couple lists and see. So what is this? This is what was this fucking article? There it is. All right. All right, so this one gets good reviews pretty much everywhere. And it's supposedly quite fun. So I would love to try this. I love the idea of a flight sim in VR. Sounds pretty nice. This is the one you guys are talking about, right? No Man's Sky? So what does it say? Okay, I guess I can read these. So what does this actually say about Star Wars? Star Wars Squadrons from Motive Studios is a VR game that will fulfill the childhood dreams of many, letting you fly as both Rebel and Imperial pilots. A ship-to-ship combat-focused flight sim is ideal for VR. Yeah, this sounds like a good hit, right? Thanks, Colton. VR chat, cute anime girls. Probably not gonna be streaming that. I don't think I'm gonna be doing that anyways. Just doesn't really do anything for me. All right, Half-Life Alex. Alex? Is this pronounced Alex, like A-L-E-X, but it's spelled with a Y? Exciting. All right. So I'm afraid that Half-Life, one of Valve's first VR games, first century. Okay, I don't think this is on a platform that I have access to, right? Because this is Valve, so it's gonna be yeah. So I can't even access this one. It's the wrong platform, so that's just not gonna work. So what's cut? Dude, what's fucking hotkey cut? Copy is C, paste is V, Z. Nope, that's undo. X, thanks. Wait. Looking for. Control X is cut. Okay. Sweet. Thanks, guys. All right, and the reason for this is yeah, wrong system. All right. For squadrons, you can't use the Quest 2 controllers to fly. Shit. Okay. So what peripherals do I need then? I guess. Dude, you know what I hate about it? The only one thing I dislike about sheets is I don't think they have inherent spell checking in them. How do I spell peripheral? It looks right. I'm not entirely certain. Okay. All right. So I need what now? I need flight sticks. What is a flight stick? Yeah. We can move that over too, because that doesn't need to be taking up screen space for the moment. Okay. I'm just gonna be played with the keyboard, mouse, controller, or joystick. Yeah, we're looking to play in VR though. You want to snitch on my former school teachers? But I like it. Sure. I guess it's just more like I'd like to spell it right. I'm a terrible speller. Terrible. Pain stick. Oh, okay. All right. No Man's Sky. All right. What is this on right now? Does it tell me the systems it's on? No. Really? All right. So we'll have to look that up somewhere else in a minute. What is it though? Okay. Action survival. Reversing and discovery. Does it require, do we know what is, okay. What is, okay. Themes, it's probably Vive. All right, we have to check that then if that's doable yet. This is super hot, which I know gets really good reviews, but it's like, I kind of wanted, yeah, beginning as a browser-based demo in 2013, I kind of wanted next gen or current gen VR stuff. It feels like early VR stuff was like, hey, this is VR. Play VR. And the later stuff is going to be better in terms of, hey, this is a game in VR. What is Defector? Tense spy action. That looks like they're playing dice. This list seems bad. Okay, I've heard this is essentially super short and is basically a graphic story. I don't really want a graphic story. I want a game. Game supports Oculus products? I didn't realize that. I thought it didn't. I thought they were proprietary. Yeah, we got Beat Saber up, Triple P. Oh, you expect you to die? You guys keep saying I expect you to die, and I was reading that as like a joke. That's actually a name. Okay. This is Oculus Rift. Thanks always. Okay. I read this a little bit. I still don't know exactly what this is. I understand this to be a kind of. I thought it was a little bit like Space Invader, but presumably updated 3D and etc. Has anyone played this? Space-based shoot 'em up. It's like laser gun Star-Lord using gun. I don't know what that means. Yeah. I hate puzzle games. Don't want a puzzle game. So I've seen this recommended a couple times. The setting of the story of the game sounds fun, but it doesn't sound like it's very story based. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell this is in your PlayStation. Okay, these have been kind of lackluster. This is the one I'm most excited about, but I'm terrified of trying to deal with this because I think it's not going to be very good unmodded. I think it's going to require a PC plugin, and I think it's going to be epic if I can get it fucking running in that way. So I'm excited about Skyrim, but I kind of don't know what to do about it. Duck Hunt on Nintendo? Fuck that. For me, anyways. And this one, Moss. Okay, so we're seeing these again. Resident Evil, maybe. I heard the Mage's Tale was okay. I heard it was pretty short. So there is an Elite Dangerous here. Really? How is this gameplay wise? Because Elite Dangerous is a game that I've considered getting for PC multiple times. No Man's Sky is just doing stuff and looking at things. Okay, that's not what I'm looking both for streaming maybe, but also for personal stuff. And I don't think that I don't want to wander around looking at shit. Slow but might be enjoyable. Slow in what way? Okay, so this is probably not what I want then. What is it? X. That sounds exactly like not. There is Fallout here. Fallout might be a fun one to do. Like Fallout was a good game that I never really got into. Elite Dangerous is very good if you like to speak a lot to entertain us during long, empty space flying. Oh no. Where did it say Vive exclusive right there? Yeah, see, this is the type of shit that I see when I look for this. All right, so this list. I mean, I can put this up here, but I guess I need to see gameplay footage of what it's actually like from where are my options? It's too big right now. I don't have my options. I want it to just okay, I guess I don't care. All right, what else? Oculus Quest, The Verge. I've seen this be recommended a lot. I don't know that it's particularly interesting to me. I like that it's a substantial, lengthy game, because I agree that a lot of the stuff that I've seen advertised for a Quest seems to like just be like, 10 hours of gameplay or something, which is not what I'm really looking for. Medieval magic combat game. Yeah, there's I don't know if it was Mage's Tale or not, but I've seen that. There's 2 iterations of that too. I was looking at that. I'm trying to find the list here. We'll focus on exclusivity. I don't know. It feels like if I'm going to be playing these, the setup for streaming it may or may not happen. So if I'm going to be playing these, I want them to be actually VR titles, right? Because if they're not VR titles, I should just fucking play them on PC. I heard Arizona Sunshine was good. So what is the gameplay loop in this like? X4 is one of the best single-player space games. What is X4 here? I have a Quest 2 Rusted Shovel. Arena Mage Battle game. Yeah, I read that up too. That didn't sound like what I was looking for, although it did sound kind of cool. Go to an area, gather scraps, sneak around, talk to people, maybe do a few quests. Is there character advancement? Weapon advancement? What am I doing with this? Like, I don't generally give a fuck about zombie games. Maybe. I don't want to play first-person shooters necessarily. Seems like more of the same. Low point. Is this the one where you're like, I didn't want to play that either. That sounded like Beat Saber without music to me, kind of. I haven't heard this one. What is Apex Construction? I like that you're wielding a bow and arrow, but for something more of a story. Oh, I heard this was also like you only move. These, when I read into them, didn't sound amazing to me. I almost picked this one up, not real VR fishing, In Death Unchained, but it felt really, really reminiscent of the one I have, the Until They Fall. And Until They Fall is fun, but it's like really repetitive, really, really repetitive. I don't understand the appeal of this at all. I just don't get it. It just totally doesn't make sense to me. Oh, here's Until You Fall. You guys want to see this? This is I've been playing a chunk of this, but so the issues with this, besides being really, really repetitive, is it doesn't do combat. Like combat versus one target is fun, kind of, although it gets a little repetitive as well. Combat versus multiple targets with this, you start feeling the interface too much. It's very difficult to face in a way where it registers your blocks and hits versus multiple targets for shit. And the way that works this game is you spawn in a room, or rather you have like a base you come out of. When you come out of the base, you always go through the same path in terms of the number of locations to each point. There's no saves along the way, so when you die, you go back to the very beginning. You have to fight through it again. Your weapons scale up over time, but also through choices, kind of like Slay the Spire rewards almost, where you come out of this and you can upgrade certain things. But the fights are versus a pretty limited number of enemies and are very repetitive, and it's just about like perfectly blocking, perfectly defending, and it's okay, but it gets real fucking repetitive for me. And I didn't like how modular. It's like you start in a very small room and you fight in this room, then you go to the next room. That's an exact copy of the previous room, pretty much, you know, with a very slight difference in layout kind of deal. And you just keep going for a while. I haven't had motion sickness in VR yet, so I don't know if I'm not generally very sensitive to motion sickness, so I might be okay with that. What is this one? Rez Infinite. What is it? I can still get. Never heard of this. How do you move? This is the other thing that sometimes gets me. Movement in VR is really weird, and until you fall, rather, all of the movement is through controllers, right? And I know they're trying to do a little bit of the, like, is there not a better way in VR to do movement yet? Like, has no one figured out a more interesting way to do that? I know you're limited in space. Like, I play in a 12x12 area, so I've got a little bit more space than a lot of people who are playing this, presumably. And I know I can't, like, run forward like 100 feet or something, but is there no way that's better than just fucking, like, controller movement? Because controller movement's really unfortunate. Move your hands up and down to run. Yeah, dude, I can't remember. I think it was on a Rogan show. He pulled up something. It was like this girl was like, first of all, it had like a little personal treadmill, like maybe like 2 foot across, maybe, that they were standing on so they could run. And then she was swimming, and she was like, the girl who's in the headset was swimming, and she was like supported around the waist, like held off the ground. And I'm like, I'll have one of those installed. I'm sure it'd only be like, 20 grand or something to get that in. Omnidirectional treadmill. I haven't even looked at those. Like, what do they run? What does an omnidirectional treadmill run for cost? What is it actually costing? This one's 3 grand. Easy. Yeah, I think this is what we saw them. I saw them. Yeah, look at this thing. Look at this fucking thing. Couple of nights of streaming. Yeah, right. All right. So I realized we're watching this in small window. I'm gonna make this bigger for now. I can't full screen it. Full screen it fucks up the playback on stream for some reason. But I do want to see these, so let's make this bigger. I'll put Filthy back on top in a second. Yeah, it's a bit more reasonable, I think. Presumably I don't have to listen to this music every time I get involved. Dude, look, he gets to run. Wait till you see the swimming, man. Why is this so fucking loud? Pretty big, man. I have height limitations where I'm at too. So like this that looks like it adds about 2 foot. It might even be too much right now. If I reach hand up, I can touch the ceiling of my basement with my hands fully extended. And when I move back a little bit, there's like vents that I sometimes knock my wrists into when I'm playing. When I do like large sword slashes and that shit. Looks like that's 2 foot up. But I wanted to show. Oh man, I don't know if I could see the one where there's one where the woman's like, there's a woman who's like swimming. See if I can find that. Because that was really fucking cool. I wanted to show you that, guys. That VR swimming. Yeah, I think it's this one. Maybe this one. Hold on. Look at this, dude. All right, fucking audio for this. Thanks. But you see, she's off the ground. This doesn't actually look very fluid. That looks like it look pretty bad. But she's fucking swimming with the VR setup. Yeah, that's a little bit like, see her like randomly jump back and forth. That doesn't actually look very smooth at all. But there was a setup on I saw one that was a bit smoother than this. That's pretty fucking cool, huh? Anyways, I don't think we're going down that route. Although, if there's, I wonder what was the cost of the that one we were just looking at with the omnidirectional treadmill. What was that gonna cost? Out of curiosity, they put a price point on this. It's more compact. Anchoring uses a single vertical bar instead of a ring. You can hold, fold it up, put it away. Play games dedicated store. Retail. The Retail Omni 1 will be a self-contained system with a standalone headset. It's being tested with the Pico, but Vertex will decide what headset to use. Retail, $1,000. Seems not even that bad for that. No, it's not even. No, hold on a minute. Hold on. A 1,000 developer kit will offer only the treadmill. I mean, yeah, that setup's weird, but like, you gotta have that. You fucking come off every time, right? Fans of the concept must invest a minimum of $1,000. In return, they'll get a 20% discount on the consumer or 40% discount on the invest in the first week. I don't know what this is. I don't understand what that's saying here. But what is this? So you're buying a $1,000 kit and you're not even getting the product yet? Okay, first paragraph. I see. UK. I mean, it feels like you almost need that to get that experience, right? So like the headset experience is fine, but I'm very aware of the lack of physical movement doing it. Huh. Guess it doesn't feel like swimming at all. Yeah, sure. It's not gonna feel that way at all. But I thought that the concept was super cool. The idea of that. But something like this is very, very interesting to me. Like like this is gonna change the way you do something, right? Like it already changes it a little bit, the VR stuff, a little bit. Some of the stuff is really cool. And I'm looking for, and again, to tie it back to the conversation we're having, I'm looking for games that really highlight the VR aspect of it. So this is going to change the way you game, right? If you spend like 2 hours running in your basement as you're playing games, like shit, like running is the reason why I don't run at all anymore is because it's the most boring thing in the entire universe. And I ran for years as a workout. And I switched to biking because biking just is so much more interesting. It's less efficient than running as a pure workout, mostly like time for calories kind of deal. But the best way for working out for me physically, like muscular, was always climbing because climbing was extremely inherently interesting. And then changing it into an activity that was making me do physical things but was interesting was amazing. So the idea of gaming in a way that's also physical is pretty cool. So like that's a little bit interesting to me. So anyways, I don't know. So like, and it feels like right now, like I notice it so much. I hate the movement in Until They Fall. It's very teleporty. You'd be so fit if you got one of these based on your gaming addictions, right? Like, I mean, why not? I mean, this to me is what defines good technology, right? Good technology changes the way you do things for the better. Running on concrete stirs me. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to change to biking for sure. I'm pleased with the biking thing, but the reason why I did running in the first place was running is an efficiency thing for me, right? It's just like time per value for running is so fucking high for physical health.
Filthy's becoming a Just Dance streamer.
Dude, I like the movement and the movement plus the music in Beat Saber. Like I had fun with that, man. That was fun to me. Like I've never been anything to do with dancing in my entire life, man. But I could see like VR dance movement things being really, really fun, man. So rip climbing, I don't want to rip climbing. I want climbing back in my life for sure. But it'd be fun to have a game where I feel like I'm physically involved in it. So not only do I go, shit, like I want a couple hours of shooting people, but it's like I want to sprint to the next location. It'd be like doing paintball in your basement almost, right? But swimming has all these other time costs associated with it, which are all negative for me Itadiki, right? Like my skin is super sensitive to chlorine, so when I do a lot of swimming, I tried that in college, right? I did a couple, I don't know, it was like a couple months of trying swimming as a fitness routine, and there's the problem of there's time spent with like changing into swimming stuff. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but like you go in, you're like changing, you're showering, you gotta have that shit with you. You come out, like when I was swimming a couple times a week, like I was like permanently, like my eyes like permanently hurt, and I was doing fucking like dry skin shit nonstop. But it was just like it wasn't like running. I could walk out my front door, and if I wanted to work out for an hour, the amount of time it took me to work out was an hour plus the time it took me to put on my shoes. I didn't have to drive anywhere, didn't have to go anywhere, didn't have to change, didn't have to do any special anything. I put on my fucking shoes and went for a run. Like that to me, the efficiency of workout was just insanely good. Same with biking. You know, like I bike from my house, generally in a circuit back to my house. So I guess, anyways, point being that like the efficiency element. So I agree. Swimming is supposed to be incredible on your joints. People who do it love it. Like the people who do it regularly seem to think it's the greatest exercise ever. And I believe them. It just didn't work out for me. Swimming pools are cold, I guess. You warm up. I hate that feeling too of being the heavy exertion in water where, because it's so weird. Like I don't know how to describe this. Maybe I'll try for a second, right? Which is the way you vent heat when you're covered in water is different. I don't like jumping in the shower when I've come right straight back from a run. Like I need, unless it's a cold shower, right? Like, but I need some time for that because I feel like I am like unable to breathe almost. And like when you're swimming in like in water, like really exerting yourself in water, I feel that same kind of feeling, which is I don't feel like I'm venting heat properly, which is weird because I think water is actually, I think when you're in water, you're actually losing heat a lot faster than you do in air. I don't know how to describe it then. It's something to do with that feeling anyway. So I didn't like that feeling either. So anyways, yeah, but you say that, Glees, you're like, for me, cardio strength workout is one of kettlebells, right? Super fun and super effective. But think how much more fun it would be if you were playing like fucking Skyrim and working out. Swim a couple of kilometers. I'm like, yeah, and I'm not knocking swimming. It just didn't work for me with having to have access to pools, traveling to pools, and then dealing with the fact of a public pool and like chlorination. It just destroyed me. Like I couldn't do it. I did it for a couple of months. I had to stop. Like it was like ridiculous how bad it was for my skin. And like I'm not talking like, oh, my skin doesn't look good. I mean like I was like having serious dry skin issues all the time, and my eyes were like permanently red from chlorine. It was fucking horrible. Oh, thank you, Hideous. That puts the whole movie in perspective for me. I knew I missed something. Thanks, man. Anyways, so I need to like bookmark this and come back to it, huh? Because like this may be one day something that I actually seriously consider. I don't know if I like the idea of being the prototype for this. Like I maybe want the second gen where they make it like half the cost, twice as compact, and twice as functional, right? But this is a really cool concept for VR. Anyways, let's go back to the kind of VR conversation we're having about games. Get her to the couch for Omnipad, right? Jack Frost, yeah, I don't think we need to go into the Titanic stuff. I'm just not that interested, but I am enjoying. I guess I'm enjoying the comments. All right, so what was this? We were looking at this. This was some. I wanted to see the Star Wars Squadrons gameplay. So this This one here in Death Chain, Unchained, and Apex Construct, these are these bow simulators, right? Which I guess they like the drawing back, but this doesn't look good to me. Like, look at this for combat. I'm left watching. I mean, this is fine, right? This is what a product review or a product demo like this is supposed to be doing, is to show you what the fucking thing is. And it just doesn't look like something I want to do with my time particularly. I haven't looked at gameplay footage for this yet. I guess I could look. Why are all of these so loud, man? Yeah, but I want to address that quickly, Nobu, right? But so if I require a separate controller for every single game I want to play in VR, I feel like I'm doing it wrong. It shouldn't be. The cost of a game in VR is already fairly expensive for the time you get out of it, because it's essentially a more expensive thing to develop, right? So you're paying for a bit of that. And then I shouldn't have to double down on the cost of that for a new controller for every single thing. Hard to rate VR games with a trailer. I agree 100%, but I have to get some information. This is why I'm trying to do this as a community thing right now, so I can get your guys' feedback. That looked okay, and it's getting a lot of good reviews. I think that has to be on the list of at least 2 things to consider. I just don't know if that is, what is it, Saints and Sinners? Okay. I mean, I just don't generally care for zombie games. The gameplay of survival zombies just isn't really something that I'm all that interested in most of the time. All right, so we need another list here, because again, I get these like little lists of like 5 things. I mean, this is my search term stuff, but I need, maybe we just go to the Oculus. But the problem is, if I get the Rift store, what is it? Just the products that have been paid to put in their store, not all the compatible ones. So this is the, not the Rift, the Quest. I want a VR game library, right? Yeah. That's perfect. Thank you for translating CR. There's that one we're just looking at. Game Informer. Best VR game experience on this. Oculus. I just want a fucking list. Like a full list. Vader Immortal. I hear this has like no gameplay in it. Yeah, enough said. While this game is very short, every single review says very short. So you know when it says very short, this is going to be like, I'm a gamer. You guys may have noticed this about me, but I spend a serious amount of time playing video games. I don't want a very short game. That inherently makes the game bad for me. Like, all right, so this is Walking Dead again. I wonder if it's the same. Okay, I want to see this. You do. Unfortunately, Quest 2 does require you have a Facebook account to use your VR software. Okay, but this just looks like a graphic. Is any of this actually what you're doing?
I can't shake them. Giving engines full power.
I mean, I have extremely fond memories of TIE Fighter as a kid. I watched and played a fair amount of TIE Fighter in my life.
Think you can escape?
This is gonna be close.
This doesn't look gameplay. This just looks like cinematic. So unless they tell me this is gameplay, I'm gonna get annoyed.
Pilots. You are the Empire's
Yeah,
strength.
and this requires the Oculus Link. The link is the part that makes it no longer standalone. So that requires the link. I don't know if that's gameplay or not, chat. I haven't played it, so I don't know.
Do not accept defeat.
Remember why we fly. For hope.
Yeah, I don't want to hear your fucking...
Vengeance.
My wife has me doing some yoga at the moment with her, right? And there's this part where the yoga instructor's like, namaste, and they're doing all this shit. I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Get to the stuff that's interesting, not the fucking lore that goes along with it. Yoga lore is one of the worst lores I've found out. So hearing the New Hope's fucking dreams is not helping me right now.
When the perfect shot makes history.
5 pilots.
1 squadron.
Show me the gameplay.
Galaxy's finest.
Yes, I want to fly that. I want that moment. What they just saw there, that was, I mean, that's a cinematic, but I want to fly that moment. If this game provides me actually flying this fucking moment, will you get this shit out of the way, YouTube? I want to be in a fucking, what was that, a Y-Wing that we just saw there? I remember it was a Y or an X-Wing that I just saw. Either the fucking bomber or the fighter. That's an X-Wing. But anyways. Yeah, that's an X-Wing. Alright, I want to see a Star Destroyer climbing out of the clouds as I'm flying in there. So if this is gameplay, I want to play this game. If this is not gameplay, if this is cinematic, I feel very lied to. Never heard of The Long Drive. What is it? Found an official gameplay trailer link. Does it have footage, Pokedo? This is cinematic. Too bad, man, because look at that. What a feeling you get if like you got the headset blasting fucking Star Wars music for you. You're flying something and physically feel like you're flying it, and then like out of the fog rises like this immense fucking weapon of destruction. Like it would be super, super fun. That'd be super fun. I'd also like to fly a Star Destroyer. Can you like kill planets in this game? Thanks, Pokedo. I got the link. I'll pull it up in a second. Maybe mods. Mods are slacking, it looks like. Alright, let me see. Oops, can't do that. I always try to full screen it and it doesn't work on stream, right? Wait, did it just do that? When I full screened it, did it do it?
The second Death Star's gone.
No shit. It's zoomed wrong. Alright, hold on. Why is that working now? It's never worked in the past ever. I gotta resize this to make this fit then. What are you supposed to be doing? Just when people were posting links to help us with this search, they need permission so they don't get banned. What are we at right now? What does it do? It's probably because it's not, so I just need to full screen this then too, right? All right. This is Chrome. Let's form. And no. Not gonna fucking cut it. Why don't I just full screening this? Doing this full screen. That's fine. And let's drag some shit down. Do. Want these without suggestions particularly, and I want, oh, this is still sorted to fit, huh? That out. What happens if I full screen from here? What does it do? Oh, it fucks it up. So, okay. So I guess I just have to leave this totally untransformed then. Sorry. All right. I'm trying to clear all this clutter off, but it's just not going to work. All right. So if I full screen this and then watch it, do you guys see full screen too? All right. That's fine.
Vanguard Squadron. Let's make history.
This is it, Titan Squadron. Everything we've done has led to this. Finish those Vanguard scum.
Show me gameplay.
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Earn your wings in a single-player story spanning 2 factions.
All stations, fire on that ship!
And master multiplayer battles as a squadron of 5.
Large view next to full screen. I'll try in a second. Always.
Entire game in VR. This is the definitive Star
Okay, this
Wars
is gameplay.
pilot
Look at that.
experience.
Okay, so that's totally different. That still looks pretty good though. I gotta do this with a quest link though,
You'll
apparently.
begin your career in a single-player story
Welcome to Titan Squadron.
where you'll play as 2 combat pilots, flying for both the Empire and the New Republic. You'll experience this world through your cockpit. The instrumentation in front of you provides critical feedback about power management, targeting, and shields.
So is there an actual game in here? Kind of
With a
looks like there
squadron
might
of
actually be a
diverse
game in there.
characters at your side. Prove your skills on increasingly challenging missions.
Hello, Vanguard. Welcome to the Nadiri dockyard.
One of my spies has linked
Nice
the
that they're
attacks
letting
with
burn
the New
victims
Republic
fly.
Starhawk project.
The story of the 2 pilots you play
Stick together.
will shape the balance of power in the galaxy.
Get ready.
Let him have it. To take the fight online, you'll need flight time with all 8 ships. Fighters are the most... Bombers are the head...
Finally got him.
This will be critical in Star Wars Squadron's multiplayer modes.
Ooh, is there a multiplayer
First up,
mode?
Dogfights. This is an all-out 5v5 battle.
That was the best.
Fine-tune your loadouts to work as a team.
Moving in on the enemy.
Utilize components like tractor beams, turrets, and mines to slow down your opponents.
This has more depth to it
or
than I
set
was
up your
expecting, man.
squad mates for
That
the
sounds
kill.
interesting.
Rebels unlocked.
The option to compete against other players or AI as a squadron of 5.
Don't worry, I got him for you.
Ships. Squadron's choice of
It'd be fun if there was some asymmetrical gameplay. Like you're not fighting a 5v5, rather you're fighting like where's this mode that moves it down all the ways? Where you're fighting what's this thing? Where like one person's in the Star Destroyer and like 5 of them are in like X-Wings trying to bring it down or something. Or some version of that, like a mothership versus that middle square. Middle square. I go next. Oh, this thing. Thanks. Okay. All right. That looks okay. I mean, that looks promising. That requires the link, and I don't know yet. I mean, what does the link require? I think it requires a where can I buy the kit? No, I want to know what it actually requires here. What's the connection? The USB port. Is it just a regular USB, or is it USB the fucking VR version was the USB-Cs, right? Tell me which one. Surely it would tell me which one on the page itself. But there's a specific type of port. It's not a 3.0 port. It's like a USB-C. And I don't think my existing... This PC that I'm streaming on right now has USB-Cs in it. But the PC that I would be connecting for this might not. I don't actually see it on here unless I'm fucking blind. I use any USB with any USB-C cable. Ah, dude, how do I find out if my... I've got a PC sitting at home, not connected to anything. Still got an OS installed on it. Is there a way to visually see a USB-C port? It's not gonna be, right? I'd have to probably actually start pulling up hardware of specs of the hardware installed on it. Small one. The form is different. All right, let's find out what it looks like. Yeah, I don't want to see an ad for that. I want to see a fucking image for that. Wait, the USB-C would be on the Quest end. The PC would just be a standard USB port. But doesn't the port require it to be? The port have to be some sort of special USB port? You can't just plug a USB-C into anything, right? So like, I think this was one of the issues I had when I was fucking around with setting up the Oculus Rift a couple years ago, right? Which is that I don't think the video card I had on, I think it was the video card. I can't remember where it's plugging in, right? It's not a 3.0 that I'm worried about. I know there's 3.0 ports on the PC. I thought it was a specific, you had to have USB-C compatible. Use an adapter? Okay. All right, so I gotta fire that PC up, it sounds like, and find out if I have a USB-C on it, because it's gonna really impact which ones I can deal with, right? Okay. Really? It's just as simple as a USB 3 on the PC. No shit. Seriously? Anyone else? I don't mean to. I don't mean to discount something coming from the smelly toilet bowl, but does anyone else have a like a second opinion on that? Anyone else have that? Can confirm that? But for real, why do you want to go wired and not use the Link wireless? What? What do you mean, why do I want to do the Link? It's because some game, it works like this, ready? So the headset is a standalone. The standalone has limited processing power because it's a standalone. So some games, basically the better graphic games, and some of the better games just in general, require a connection. Yeah, no, I'm not doubting you, man. I just kind of want to make sure there's other people chiming in on it too. You can use the Wi-Fi for a Link? Can you really? Seriously? Can it do that in real time? When you're playing like a sim game, like a flight sim? No shit. All right. So we're looking for other games now. Let's do the next one. Huh. Well, thanks, Big Benzie. That's interesting information too. I'll buy a cable anyways to check it out. But I'll try it as well. Because if that's the case now, I can go try it at home, maybe Monday, and see. Set it up properly. The wires in a huge deal. I really like being wireless. Frog Unleashed. Now I guess there's going to be some issues. The Quest 2 doesn't have great battery life. It's like a couple hours tops. It's like 3 hours tops or something when you're doing anything. So I don't know if the VR is running. If you're running wireless input from the PC, if you're also going to deal with a bit more battery usage. Anyways, what other games are we looking for? I want to look at. So that one looks really good, man. I think that would maybe be enough to drop that in the planned. Is this still so zoomed in? Let's zoom that out a little bit. In the planned category. Although it has to be linked. I got to test that link. Extend the battery by USB batteries. Yeah. You wouldn't recommend Fallout 4. You played about 30 hours and ended up playing on PC. Can you maybe give me like a two sentence like explanation of what you didn't like about it being on VR? You guys have other VR suggestions? So what else we got here? And also, any of you guys who are also VR gaming, what peripherals are you using? Like, what have you found essential besides the basic controllers that come with? Alright, so Fallout 4 is getting some mixed reviews from you guys. We have Elite Dangerous on there twice. Easy game. I want to see Acorn gameplay because I'm really impressed with the idea behind that, but I'm not so impressed. I'm not so impressed with the actual game they built around it. But I want to see this now. Just a bad port. It's cool for a few hours. Has a Fallout 4's problems. Okay. Gotcha. Thanks. Hey Smiski. I did play some Lek mod at some point. I think mostly the teamer games were played with Lek mod, but it changes so much, Smiski, that I'm not sure you're gonna get a lot of value out of my stuff for it. You're welcome to check, but yes, there are some Lek mod games. Alright, what was this called? I wanna see Acorn gameplay VR, right? Acorn Attack of the this is the one. This is it. But I want to see gameplay footage. Okay. Okay. I don't want to see this guy play it either. I just want to actually see. Show me. Lacking gameplay. Okay. Blade and Sorcery. I don't know Gorn. I'll pull the list up again in a second. Alright. So as I said, the idea behind this is much better than the implementation of it, in my opinion. But I haven't seen the gameplay, so let's take a look. Okay. Now, I don't know who these people are, but I can't imagine this being a fun social gathering whatsoever. But the idea is still very interesting, right? Which is the idea that one person is playing on VR and 3 people are playing on mobile, and they're playing in the same game. And it's asymmetrical what they're doing. They don't all control the same unit. They're controlling a separate units, doing separate things. I can honestly say I want nothing to do with this game, but I would like some developer to pick up the concept of this game and make it into something that doesn't make me want to cut my own wrist when I look at it. So maybe we look for the next search. All right, so what were the 2 you recommended, Big Benzie? You said Blade and Sorcery. And then Gorn. What is Gorn? Gorn sounds awkwardly like gore. But I know. All right, this was another article for looking at VR games right now. It's always the same 5. Like Beat Saber's up there every single time. Generally, Super Hot's up there. Generally, Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners is up there. And then one of the Star Wars ones, either Squadron or like sword fighting with Vader or whatever the fuck it's called. Vader teaches Blade Mastery or whatever the hell the game is. Want nothing to do with first-person shooter. They're all the same ones. I'm not doing free social game immerse. Thanks. Yeah, like Super Hot's right there. This one gets recommended all the time. I like ping pong, but I don't know that I actually want to play VR ping pong. The fun of ping pong is the physicality of it, right? But this one, I don't. VR room. What is this? Yeah, I'm getting like. I'm getting what I'm saying is it's so close to void. I'll take a look in a second. I just don't want to be like debated by chat into like looking up like some obscure porn subgenre live on stream, you know. Echo VR. So is this the one where you're kind of moving in 3Ds? There was one that was like almost you guys ever read Ender's Game? And there's the fights they did as cadets training in there where it was like 3D floating with like weapons. Sounded a bit like one of these games. Can't remember what it was. Yeah, all right, Big Benzie. So there is this one. This is the one that's what always sounded like to me. Ender's Game was a pretty good book. Yeah. It was. I wanted to see. Okay, so let's look at gameplay footage for this. I don't think I've looked at gameplay footage for this yet. This is not gameplay footage. I like a 5th pop-out window to show me this, I guess.
In zero gravity.
Not true, Hideous.
Players fly faster.
Yeah, see, this is kind of interesting. But like, how is this movement gonna be? So this is one of these things where, what controls the movement here? Am I just jamming like forward on a joystick to move here? Also, why can I not play again? That was it? I get 1 shot at playing? Fine. That was my 1 shot. We lost it. Ben. Okay. And I wanted to see gameplay footage for this too. I need a better light. Alright, we're looking for more of these, right? So, what are the two you recommended? Oops. Not what I wanted to do. Go to... Alright, chat, what's a good search term? What do we want? Best VR 2020? New VR? Most immersive VR? Most... I want a search term that encapsulates... I would like the best games out there for VR, honestly. But the other ones I'm most interested in are the games that do the most justice to being in VR. Is there a separate camera to capture movement like in Stream VR with the Quest 2? Quest 2 is... yeah, Quest 2 has a number of built-in cameras on the headset that captures your movement, correct?